today we are heading to Amethyst Panorama.
It's my choice.
Mine.
It's my choice because I really like Amethyst.
So why you decide you wanna go to this?
Because our friend Chris so like he has Amethyst, he got it and even gold. So I think I really want gold or Amethyst.
Okay. See you later.
Bye. We're at Amethyst 9. I mean, like in 7 kilometers. We just stopped Pink Road. I'm gonna show you one of my favorite rocks by the way. It's a Pink Road.
You travel road towards mine. Tourist bus
Living carrying $1 million amethyst. See how many people guys went there to dig up amethyst.
And there's a lot of dust if you try. Amethyst 9. I don't know what the bottom is.
Panorama.
Panorama. Sorry guys, I didn't say that.
Looks like lots of visitors, huh?
Lots of people who likes to dig out amethyst.
Well, it's mine.
Oh, that's all the equipment.
Look, all the kids there.
Well, I'm just gonna dig. I don't want to listen to them.
How many about? There's no.
The bear there cost $2,000. Papa, I'm gonna take a look. Look, with the elephant, with the bear.
And your phone is just on the desk.
The cluster.
Alright. So, just a few safety rules I have to go through if you want to come over here for a set. So this is just more for the kids, but no running. Be careful, lots of tripping hazards out there, so watch where you're going, no soft landings. Don't hammer on the rocks, we don't want anything to fly back and hit you in the face. Amethyst is a mineral, so it's sharp like glass. Just be careful when you're picking up bigger stones. Don't throw rocks and don't climb on exhibit signs or structures. Alright, so about 1.5 kilometers in the distance, right by the tree line out there, do you guys all see the tower?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's the McTavish Fire Tower. That was built in the early 1950s, and while they were building that tower, they actually uncovered the amethyst here by accident. So at the time, it was mostly flat ground, there were no roads or highways out, so the construction workers were bringing their steel and equipment to a quarry. The steam scraped over the granite here by this quarry, and it uncovered purple for them. So at the time, there were a lot of fishermen and prospectors roaming around this area. Word of mouth about the amethyst traveled very fast. By the 1960s, 3 men had decided to start mining here on the property. They stayed here for a good 20 years before they decided to sell. They sold in 1980. And it's been their family business of 40 years.
Now look at
How about this one?
That's what most people
this. What the heck?
circular rock, you cut it right down the middle, there's crystals inside. It didn't get hot enough here though for geo support. So the first thing that Steve
Is that the amethyst? Wow. It's all dirty.
how we get the nice purple color. And so most of the things I'll be saying are on the science page. You guys can take pictures of anything you like. So amethyst has something that's called a color center. So all of the colors on your light spectrum are involved, but the green and yellow wavelengths are being trapped inside, whereas the blues, reds, and purples are being reflected out to us. So the lighter lavender, almost white pieces that we'll see, those will have the least amount of iron, and then we can get dark purple, almost black pieces that will have the most amount of iron. And then these here, which are called red-capped amethyst, is unique to Thunder Bay. So those amethyst crystals had formed, and before they completely settled, an extra coating of iron just stuck right on the outside of those crystals. So inside and underneath is all the purple amethyst, but we can't see it through that coating of extra red iron on top. And so, like I said, we don't have geodes here, we have veins and vugs. So this right here is a really good example of a vein. Those crystals are growing off of the granite and they run out of room, so they fuse together, leaving the solid veining of amethyst through the granite. And then a vug is a similar process to that, kind of like right in here. Those crystals grow off of the granite and they complete their growth before they reach each other. So it leaves a cavity in there and we're able to see all the 6-sided points. And so every amethyst point is 6-sided, just like how salt and sugar have their own shape. All of these points will have 6 sides on them. Here we have some rusted coated amethyst. These bigger crystals, they grew in deeper, more muddy water, so they don't show clarity like some of the smaller crystals that we're going to look at. Some of the smaller ones that show better clarity grew in cleaner, more shallow water, so they have better chances. This here grew in deeper, muddy water with extra dirt and iron. So as you can see here, it's a pretty thick coating of that extra dirt and iron, but underneath it's all the purple amethyst that everyone knows. We just can't get through this coating as it grew on there for millions and millions of years. So amethyst has no industrial use, everything is decorative. So this is a piece of pure solid amethyst. What Tim will do with this is he'll get his diamond tip saw and he'll just kind of cut it like a bread loaf. With those pieces, we'll make clock faces, coasters, bases for our sculptures, and we use a machine that's similar to a rock tumbler for this, but it's for our flat pieces, and it's called a lap machine. So it's a vibrating pad or table. We'll take the minerals and put the slab face down on there. Vibrates there for 2 to 3 weeks, and we add a bit of water and oil every once in a while. That's how we'll get the nice polished finish on all our stones and stuff. And then here, this is more of a landscaping stone, something you could put in the back of your half ton, put in your garden, however you wish to display it. This is a good piece though because it has some of the black crystals I was talking about. These black ones are much harder to come by than the lighter lavender ones are. These are what we have been in for the past few years, but we're hoping to get back into these darker crystals within the next few years. And then here we have another vug. So this is quartz and iron. So same ingredients as amethyst, but it went through a bit of a different process than regular amethyst, so we don't get to call it that. So those quartz crystals had formed, and before they completely settled, an extra coating of iron just kind of stuck right on the outside of there. So it's just a quartz crystal, similar to the red capped amethyst. Those red dots on there are extra bits of iron debris. And then here we just brought this piece up. This is a new one. Tim hasn't decided what he's gonna do with it yet, but it's pure solid amethyst, big crystals. A lot of the time people wonder why they have this orangey kind of tinge on them, and it's just like the rusted coated amethyst. These bigger crystals, they run deeper, more muddy water. We've tried power washing it, but we think this is as clean as it's gonna get so far. And then here we have some jackhammers and drills. These are older versions of what we use now, but we like to have them out so you can get a visual of some of the tools we use. We also use high pressure water hoses, even screwdrivers, anything to get the pieces out with as little damage as we can. On the hardness scale, diamond is a 10 and amethyst is a 7. So that's why we use diamond tip drills, diamond saws, all of that, so that when we go to work with the pieces, we can get a nice clean cut throughout the amethyst without any breakage or shattering happening. And then right over here, these are some drill core samples. So the drill core machine uses a special drill bit, similar to a straw, goes down and takes a core sample of the earth. We tested 150 feet deep and there's still amethyst down there. We're about 50 feet into the quarry now, so we have a really long ways to go. Lots more amethyst to find still. And you guys can follow me right down here. Here we just have another bug. This one has some smaller crystals. It's a bit different. You can look right in it.
Yeah.
So last year at the mine, we actually had a proposal. So before the tour started, he put his ring box in right in there. Lori asked her to look in during the tour and she pulled it out. He proposed and she said yes. So it was very cute. Went well. And are any of you guys from the Thunder Bay area?